So, but the key of this, if you ever get good at something, like world class at something, then you have to screenshot your knowledge, is essentially what it is. You have to right click your brain and save folder, save files, which is essentially what that did with that course. I knew that I needed to download this information and pass it on to the next person because they just learned all this stuff about this. And I had so many stories to tell, and I was as sharp as a tack during that time. So I got into coaching because I didn't want to give back to people. And what was that thing? I think I read this quote, the master's not the one, who's the best in the world. The master's the one who creates the most masters. And that was kind of this cool thing, just like, but I'm not a coach either. I'm like a guy who creates super hard and then wants to teach people about how he created and goes back to creating super hard. And so I'm like back and forth between the two different things. But that was it. So got into coaching, which just got this initial thing out of me and then helped some people. And then eventually we moved into being a product creator and pivoting and kind of just not done with VSLs, but I'm coming at it a different way now. I'm still doing video stuff, but I'm definitely done with like long form VSLs right now for a while.
Antti,
John?
today with us we have the VSL Guide. Before we dive into our guest, I want to explain what a VSL is. A VSL, or video sales letter, is a usually long video designed to convince someone to buy. But it's not just a form to advertise your product. It's the ultimate showcase of copywriting mastery in direct response marketing. What makes it so powerful is its ability to take someone from completely unaware of your product to making a purchase by the end of the video. And today we have Peter Kell with us, the guy who cracked the code using VSLs, from taking his skincare brand from 0 to 40 million to partnering with Mindvalley and creating some of the best VSL videos on the planet. Peter is a master who's now creating new masters through his mentorship program. What do you think about Peter Kell, Andy?
Yeah, absolutely. Peter is a legend in the space, so I can't wait to dive into his story and see what's behind his insane success. Let's get into it. So, welcome, Peter.
What's up?
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. What was that?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Oh, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having us here. I'm stoked to be here. We're talking about the coolest thing in the world, VSLs.
Peter, your story, I want to go back. Peter, your story of going from broke skateboarder to building a multi-million dollar campaign is amazing. Can you take us back to the beginning? What was the key moment that changed your mindset about money?
About money in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never really, I was like a kid who, it'd be awesome to be rich, but get that idea out of your head because that's never going to happen. So you never even consider about it or think about it much. And then what really triggered it was I had to move back into my parents' basement after high school, and they lived in the middle of nowhere after they moved, after I graduated. And that was just a really horrific experience where I was in my early 20s and I hated my life super bad. And I was just alone. I was basically in a prison, seeing one friend a week who didn't do heavy drugs, 45 minutes away from the closest bar with any girls. And I just hated my life super bad. And I was looking for something that would make just my life awesome, barely. I wasn't like, I was just praying for something, maybe that I had some sort of thing I could do with my life that was great. And then I found this idea about getting rich on the internet, which was interesting because I couldn't get a job there or I'd be stuck there forever. So I had to find a way to make money on the internet. But I'm like a pretty extreme guy. So I used to do like downhill extreme skateboarding and stuff like that. So when I was like, everything has to be like super big, super fast, super awesome. And so, of course, hey, let's get super rich on the internet idea was like awesome, right? Because I was looking for something I could trade my early 20s for or sacrifice my early 20s for because they were already being sacrificed. And I realized if I was the super young, rich supercar guy by the time I was 27, that would be a worthy trade. So that was it.
Yeah.
So that's how
That's great. That's great. But many people have limiting beliefs around money. Like they don't think they can win big. Like, is that like a person, like a specific person or event that helped you realize that you can actually make money? Or like you are a believer?
Listen, I am an absolute believer that money is a skill, a result that comes from a skill or a couple skills then combined, and all of those skills are learnable and teachable at the end of the day. And as a kid, we all get programmed with just the stupidest ideas from our parents or whatever, or if the unlucky ones are programmed with the stupidest ideas, where, you know, the same limiting beliefs that held their parents back, they're programmed into them. So they're just stuck with these ideas that, like, they can't do it or requires some, I don't even know what people think it does require. At the end of the day, it requires you hitting buttons on a computer, hitting enter, and then money appears at the end of the day, right? That's the sum total. We all work. It's all like a video game, you know? We're all working with a mouse and a keyboard. This is the tools, right? And your mindset creates the whole thing and runs the show. There's no, like, you don't have to jump. There's no, like, impossible thing. You don't have to walk on water. Like it's like, you just have to do certain things, and that will make you money. That's it. And that's possible. But most people learn skill sets that get really shitty results at the end of the day. Most people are actually amazing at something. I think everyone on this planet has a skill set they're great at, something that they learned, that they became great at. But the problem is they got really good at something that doesn't matter at all. Like, I would get so good at Guitar Hero, and I would get 1,000,000 points, and that would do nothing for me. So the skills, it's all about picking a skill that can create a life that you're looking for.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So, how do you found how someone like with limiting beliefs can destructure them and like destroy them, and so he can look what is possible? Because I am a person that I was having like big limited beliefs, and it took me a long time meeting the right people. Like, and now I have deconstructed many of them. Still, I think I have some limiting beliefs around different topics, but on the money, it was my limited belief. It was like, okay, I have a good skill, so maybe I can make until 6,000 to 7,000 because this was my surrounding. When I met a guy like 3 years in the business, I met a guy. I'm doing like Facebook ads, media buying. So I met a guy that he was doing like 100K per month. And it was my limited belief. It was around like my like country. I'm based in Greece. So yeah, okay, in US it's easy to make this kind of money, but a guy in Greece, it's not possible. So I met like the first guy, the second guy, the third guy. And then like, it was like, like
Right.
an earthquake on my mind.
Well, that you nailed it on the first one, which is your friends. You know what I mean? The first way is you are the average of your 5 closest friends. And once you start to get around people who are living the life you want, they will have opinions and ideas that will pull you out and start to level up your limited beliefs and level up your limits. I remember having that mentor one time. I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm going to spend $500 on this campaign tomorrow." And he's like, "Why don't you make it 5,000 and quit being a little bitch?" You know, just like ripping me up to his level, just based on who you are. So friends are the number one thing, because as soon as you start to really actually level up your life, you're going to start making the people around you a little insecure a little bit, because at least the bad ones will be insecure about it, because now you're shining a light on who they could become, and they've been hiding this. They don't want to think about their dreams and potentials that they gave up on. And now that you're chasing yours, it starts to make them uncomfortable, and they don't want you to do that. So a lot of them will try to pull you back. But listen, any good friend that's actually your friend wants the best for you. So anyone who's not down for you being the best version of yourself is not down for you in general. So friends, truths revealed. So those are kind of core things. But at the end of the day, like, secrets of the millionaire mind is a big one for money, a huge one for money. My biggest one was, hey, what if I was more successful than my dad? Right? So a limiting belief around money is that means there's something bad would happen if you did something good in your life. That's like one of the key things of a limiting belief. That's because most people think limiting beliefs are like, oh, I can't do that. But reality is a limiting belief that actually holds you back, that's insidious and very secret and very hard to find, is one that says, if I do something like make money, something bad will happen, right? Which I don't want. And that will create a subconscious block that stops you. And that's what those kind of things live deep within us. So it's important to answer this question. You know, if I were to make all this money, what's the worst things that'll happen right now?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you have anything answer to that, those are going to be limiting beliefs, any ideas. And you have to like just find them, because those will block you. It has to be all pleasure. It has to be all not getting this money. What are all the worst things that'll happen to me? Oh, I'll just be this like guy that never has kids that are inspired about it, because I'm a guy that never made any of his dreams come true. And now I'm going to have kids who won't have their dreams come true, or at least won't fucking like me or appreciate me because I didn't make any of my stuff come true. I'm just a guy with dead dreams. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you get pain attached to you not doing it, and then pleasure attaching you to it. Oh, I could have the sweetest life ever. I could be somebody who's so impactful. I could be the person who escaped from this prison in slavery that my whole family came through, or whatever, or just stuck in this mediocre lifestyle and trapped in this prison. I could be the guy that escaped and be this inspiring role model story for everyone else that they can escape, right? Like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
like being broke isn't going to help my dad either, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely
sure.
not. You know,
definitely not.
the fact that
Yeah,
you could
definitely.
give your parents $250,000 if you crushed it. How's that? That's a win.
Like you
Anyway.
did, like in the video.
That's what we did. Did it?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whole
Yeah, I've
thing.
seen the video.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, it's so funny. I was like, what happens if because that was my limiting belief. I was just like, what happens if I made more money than him? Well, I could just give him a ton of money. That would probably help him.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. For sure. And about the mediocrity lifestyle, I completely get it because it's something that, like, most people that have raised like in a poor country or in a from a poor family, like they also have poor friends, and the normal things like in life, like the friends that you have normal lives. But what you're trying to achieve, like it's not normal, so you don't have to follow normal lifestyle. So this is like a limiting belief that actually happens. I want to go like to the VSL things because like this is what you did is amazing, and you grew a skincare brand from 0 to 40 million in just 12 months, which is incredible. What were the key factors that led to this rapid growth and success? Like, how did VSLs play a role in that success? Can you describe that?
So you only have to do one thing, essentially. You just have to, and all we really were able to do was one thing, is we were able to put in $80,000 on ads today and get back at 160 or 130, right? At the end of the day, that's actually how you do it with paid ads, is you have to spend money and get money back. That's the core of it. Outside of the brand building email side of things, that is the core engine that grows any business. And the best way that we found to do that during that time of life right now was VSLs. We had to shoot an infomercial, and I was doing VSLs for the past like 2.5 years full time then as an affiliate marketer on Facebook ads, and this was we cracked the campaign, and this is the best way to do it. I would say as affiliate marketer, you test other products that are kind of allows you to move fast and not be super committed. You don't want to like kind of spend a crap load of money on a bunch of inventory for something that you're just going to give up and quit on, which happens all the time. You typically bob and weave to a million different things. I've sold hundreds of products before. I don't want to be committed to any of them. I just want to be able to move out whatever I want. But eventually we cracked a skincare campaign that had an amazing mechanism that was new and unique. I'd never seen that, had a lot of success on it. So that's when we got the dermatologist. That's when we did the golden hippo strategy of, make a world-class VSL with a world-class brand with amazing products with fast shipping times and turn that into a bigger campaign and see if your ROI goes up. And it did.
Yeah, that's really something that a lot of people get attached to their product, or they start having a product without even figuring out the marketing. They don't realize that e-commerce it is like 90% marketing. So this is the most important thing, like figure out the marketing. So you used to do that with VSLs. Like you are known as a leader in using VSLs. Why do you believe like VSLs are so effective compared to other formats like webinars, for example, as like webinars as Mindvalley did in the past?
Yeah. So I'm convinced that it was just the slowest or the least friction way to get a message across. That's a long form message across, right? Because if it's a webinar, like if I have someone click a link from an ad and they have to click play on the next video, I'm losing 10% of people automatically right away. Automatically. Like any sort of clicking or moving you're asking from people is of course going to be a huge drop-off rate. So to have them fill out a form and then watch a webinar is just not going to be as scalable as they do nothing. Sit back, just hit the full screen button and watch this. So the idea was like, people can literally just be on Facebook scrolling, click this video, and not have to move a finger until they're ready to buy. And they get every single last bit of information that they needed to make that decision, all in the video. So it was just super just dive into it. The biggest limiting belief, though, with VSLs were that nobody would watch a long video, especially on Facebook ads. So that was like, this is like a skill set that, and the second one is nobody wants to make long VSLs anyway. And the third one is even if you do make long VSLs, most of them aren't going to work. So it's just triple painful.
Yeah.
So about VSLs, me and John, we got introduced to VSLs. In the past, we knew from Russell Brunson inside the landing page, in the ad, using 12 minutes, 20 minutes, even 30 minutes sometimes. We got introduced actually from a student of yours who is in your community. It's called Tassos Dallas. Yes. So we have been we learn about using the VSLs, these long form videos to the ad from him. And actually, from then, the last 6 to 8 months, I think, we have been obsessed around this idea, and we are learning more and more about the copywriting inside the VSL, so many things. So how long has been this idea working? You said you started using VSLs as an affiliate marketer. How many years these VSLs have been working on the ad level?
Yeah, so I started, I would say, it was a few months before the crypto bull run of 2017, which I think is when I got into VSLs, right? So I don't know how long 2017 was ago. But that was basically it. I was running advertorials as an affiliate, and I would just see people clicking. And then one day I just see this slideshow video of just pictures and words going across. And then it was a story about this guy. And it kind of reminded me of a story of my advertorial that I was running. And I was just watching this. It had 10 million views. And I'm like, fuck, I wonder if we can just post the video as this slideshow video. That was literally it. And we just signed up to a tool called Lumen 5, and we were just making slideshow videos. And then at the beginning they sucked, and eventually we just, we realized that our CPMs were dropping a ton when I made them into videos, because we felt like Facebook was rewarding people, ads that kept people on Facebook and didn't have them click links and stuff like that until the very end, because they spend most of their time in the video. So that's when it all started, essentially.
Yes. And do you think every brand can use VSLs in their ads, or do you think VSLs are working for specific type of brands or for specific audience?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone's got a different definition on what a VSL is. In my perspective, we only have eyes and ears, right, to get information, and we can't smell any sales letters, unfortunately. So you can either read something, or you can watch something, or I guess you can hear something, right, on an ad. Those are your only ways to consume. And obviously, whatever combines the most of those is going to be the most effective, which is why video outbeats text, even though text is still amazing, especially the old demo. But video is your only option to inspire people to solve their problems. And that's what your brand is there to do. It's get someone to solve their problems, and your video is designed to inspire them to solve those today and buy your shit. So that's called a video sales letter. So I think there's nothing you actually can do but make videos that sell your shit. I think that's actually the only thing there is to do. That's not what else are you going to do, bro? How are you going to smoke signals? I don't understand. You just have to
No,
yeah,
I mean it from the perspective of people, they prefer UGC, user generating content, starting.
Yeah, I mean, UGC, either way, it's an authority figure reading a script or getting a message out that gets someone to solve their problem. That's what I mean by that's my definition of VSL. So that is going to change, right? Versus the Mindvalley thing, which was authority figure, long 30-minute thing. It's just a video ad that sells somebody, a video sales letter, I guess. Yeah. But I guess your question was about the long form stuff. Is that confusing?
Yes, the long form. Yes. In our mind, we have as a definition of VSLs above 3 minutes, let's say, of video for the ad.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And it has to be direct response, like it has to be CTAs. It cannot be like it's just an ad, like a long ad that doesn't, that it's for brand awareness only, for direct response specifically, like.
well, I'm going to be honest here, right? Because I got this VSL community, and when I signed up to when I started this thing, I was like, first off, I had only done long form VSLs for the past years, right? I was not doing any short form anything. It was just all my short forms were just leads to watch a VSL. So I started my community like, guys, long form VSLs all day long. Just keep the video playing. They should never run to the end of your video. If they're still watching, they're still interested, keep that shit rolling. It better be a half-hour video, right? Or whatever. So I was pitching this, and then I had all these students sign up, and then I had a couple guys just be like, nah, I still like short form videos or whatever. Like, I don't want to do long videos. And they tested the long ones. It didn't work for them. They go back to short ones, and then they explode, right? Like, I just had a call with a kid like last month who had his first $1 million profit month. In profit month, he's 23 years old, $1 million profit month. And he was running a 1 minute, 1 second long video.
Seriously?
And I couldn't believe it. It was very black hat, right? It was not nice. It was not good.
Okay.
I told him really quick, like, you want to get out of this space. Trust me, this doesn't last long term. Don't think that this is going to last forever. Karma's going to come bite you. So you need to take your chips off the table and stop doing that, because hopefully you get away with it, but I hope not. But don't, if you keep going, you're definitely not, you know. Anyway, that was my message to him. But still, 1 minute, and it crushed it. I had another guy who was running 90-second videos and had a $16 million month on December of last year, right, through the Christmas holidays. Crushing it so hard. And then I have other guys who are super hardcore and do 20-minute VSLs that run to long-form advertorials, that run to a long-form sales page, that run to like long-form upsell pages, like just all the way through the balls to the nine, with GIFs, little animated GIFs on every page, so like epically done. And they're humongous. They're huge. $6-7 million months. So to answer your question, the problem with these, like, there's just, God only knows what it's good for. I mean, if you're doing $2,000 products like some of the courses out there, I think webinars are the best thing for that, personally. I don't think a VSL works the best for that. So it's different tools for different situations, depending on what your price your product is and what niche it is and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But the problem is like with VSLs, like, and short form videos. I have a question. Because like you are a media buyer, so I'm guessing like whenever you have a brand, okay, and they want to run like Facebook ads, like what is your mindset around that? You have to find like one VSL or short form video that is going to the moon, or like you'll have to have like multiple campaigns with multiple videos and run each have sales. Like, what is your thought process around that? Like, what is an ad account look like when you run it?
Right. So at the end of the day, one ad is going to be more profitable than the rest of the ads. So you should put all your money on that winning best ad. You know, like you're launching a lot of stuff, but you're not launching a lot of stuff so you can run it all at the same time. You're launching all the stuff to find out which one makes the most money. And then you stop everything else and run that one as hard as you can. Right. So it's like kind of the next step here. Now, when I was a media buyer, right, I would just, throw in one video per one ad set and just make a ton of ad sets and just let it super broad traffic kind of run that and just get videos over and over again and upload hooks over and over again and upload leads over and over again and just keep making VSLs left and right. But that was it. I mean, I know some media buyers have much more advanced strategies, and I don't know what other advanced strategies are. I just caveman. They call it Chad media buying in the space, which I'm a huge fan of, which is just like, don't pay attention to your ad account, barely even look at it, quit refreshing, quit even giving a fuck about it. Just like turn it on, walk away for a few days, make some more ads, come back, see what happened, pause, leave it, right? And just let the machine do the work. Don't touch very many things. Don't click buttons all the time. They'll try to optimize it very quickly. I'm talking about days, like leave days between you and like hitting any buttons. But at least that's when you're like kicking things off and getting stuff started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, I completely understand. Like because like the creatives are like the biggest lever. Like even if you actually optimize the campaigns or you do like small stuff around the ad account, like here and there, like the creative is king. Like so, this is the biggest lever that you can pull if you're running Facebook ads. So I completely get it. Another thing that I would like to ask is around like the failure of VSLs, like because a VSL, like especially a long one, is high production. So it's not like an advertorial where you can, okay, it takes time. It will take you like 20 hours, like 10 hours. I don't know, like if you're fast, you can crank out like an advertorial. But VSLs, you have to write, you have to actually shoot the video and make the edits and stuff. So if it's a losing VSL, then it's a high cost. How do you test? Like, what is the process? Like, do you test them in an advertorial, and if they work, like you turn them into VSLs? Like, is there a process around that?
Honestly, I always thought about this idea of like, I'll do an advertorial and then I'll level it up to that. And then if it works to this, I'll do that. And then that just is too complicated for me at the end of the day. Because I would find myself like forgetting about that strategy, and just getting distracted with other things. So at Mindvalley, we would just balls to the wall swing every time. Balls to the wall swing every time. I mean, when we did our skincare brand, it was just, we're going to make a balls to the wall VSL. See what happens. Boom. I'm going to do this huge thing. I remember we did one VSL where this was back when we were just testing all these random ideas. And I wanted to test a nightmare story for our skincare brand. So we put up an ad for women who had rock bottom moments about their dark spots, and we were looking for somebody who had a nightmare dark spot situation, like something embarrassing that happened with their dark spots, because we had a dark spot correcting cream. And this lady had, she had been on a date, and okay, sorry, no, there was another lady. We did one that went on a date. We did another one with a woman who had been like chased by dogs or something, and she had like crashed and had hurt her face and like had so much stress from this $100,000 lawsuit that she was in that she just aged a lot. And we're like, okay, I don't know what to do here. So we sent her 6 bottles of our product to try for 30 days. And then at the end, we gave her like a big $5,000 jumbo check, like a big check sign. So she was like paid her or something like that. And I thought it was a completely weird angle that had worked for a lot of other advertorials, but I didn't know. And it just was terrible. Just the worst. Just lost so much money on the whole thing. So you just swing and a miss, right? But I just step up and I take the biggest swings and I don't beat around the bush. I don't set up for another thing. I just think of what my favorite idea is and then I send it at all costs.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a really nice way to think about it. Like this actually like remains like keeps you focused in one thing, which is the most important thing I think from your story.
Yeah, 100%. One thing, right? Just say, what's the one biggest swing that if you knock this out of the park would make the biggest impact on your life? Not like a prep swing, no like fucking bunts. I'm not going to do a baby swing. I don't have a habit of doing any bunts. Everything is the biggest swing I've ever taken in my whole life. That's everything, or else I'm not interested, and I'm not doing it, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, I get it. And now you mentioned Mindvalley, like you are a partner on Mindvalley, a company known for life-changing programs. How did that partnership came about? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I sold my skincare brand. I was traveling through Europe. I threw all my money in crypto. I lost it all. I started manifesting. I lost 95%. Yeah, I had about $6 million, and I lost $5.7 million out of that. And I just
where did you invest, like, and lost all this money? Like, no, it's not Bitcoin, right?
No, it was the stupidest things ever. Right?
Okay.
Because even though I made money, I was my soul's meant for bigger things and like to go real nuclear. So I just believe that my potential is worth like a fuckload. So I was like, listen, this isn't the only way. I was looking to be like a young jet guy who just would fly on jets all the time and like just be crazy wealthy. So I took all this money and I was committed to YOLO investing it in just the highest risk crypto things. and it just went catastrophically bad. That was it. But it was just like everything, just sending it, which is interesting because that was the second time that I lost my millionaire status and the most amount of money I've ever lost. And it's funny because the same skill set that earns you all the money is the same skill set that loses you all the money, which is interesting. Like it's the second that your reckless swings at the bat for your business, you finally hit a thing out of the park, but you have this habit of taking these crazy swings versus like, I definitely wasn't in the habit of being safe at all. That's for sure. I hadn't practiced any sort of safety things. I was just fucking sending it. And I was super young too. I was like 30 at the time. So I didn't really care too much. And so anyway, lost all this money, started working on manifesting and spirituality and got back into the law of attraction and was focused on manifesting a business partner who was a mentor. And one day on a boat in Croatia, I met Vishen, the guy in Mindvalley. God gave me the next path. That was essentially it. Yeah.
That's great. And like how what happened like at that meeting? And you started working on Mindvalley. They told you, okay, we're going to run VSLs, or did you tell him, okay, you need to run VSLs instead of webinars? How that came about?
Yeah. So we were on a boat in Croatia, partying for 6 days. He just happened to be on this boat cruise I was on, which was interesting, very divine. And I'm just talking to him about whatever. I was like, yeah, I did VSLs. He's like, yeah, I would like VSLs. He's like, I'm like, I know you guys do webinars. How's webinars? He's like, no, they just have been not doing very well for a while. And we want to get into something. I'm like, okay. So I don't really think about it. I'm just like hanging out with them. And we become good friends. And I was living in a hotel in Sweden and I was sick of it. So I was like, hey, bro, where do you live? He's like, oh, I live in Estonia. It's like, okay, I'll come out to Estonia. And it was interesting because I was in this like hell on earth position, right? Where I had just lost all this money. And I had no job, no team, no product, no business, no anything, and no drive to even do another business again because I just did this. So I was in my own internal hell. But through manifesting, I had to begin to imagine that I was in my own internal heaven. Like I was just living in the most amazing space and I had the amazing mentor and I just was like, just living it up. While my reality, my 3D, it's like looking in the mirror and just believing that you're somebody so much greater than what you see in the mirror. And that mirror isn't actually a reflection of who you are on the inside. That's kind of what it's like, right? So I was imagining myself with this amazing life, with this amazing business partner. And then I go to his house in Estonia, and we keep partying for another day. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to help this guy out with his ads just to like see if I can help him. So I pull up like the ad spy tool, and I'm going over his ads. And then I just see everything. I just see, because we have a really specific skill set, right? I need authority figures. I need life-changing products. I need high production. I need a badass media buying team. And then I can do my job, right? Essentially. And then I can start working. Dude, they had everything. They had like dozens of authors, all the highest rated. I had just stumbled upon heaven on earth for a guy like me, which was insane, right? Like nowhere in the world could a guy like me have a better spot than this spot that I just found myself in. Right? And it was just like, bro, okay. And it started to become divine. This is what happens when you work with God and you work with spirituality is you are divinely guided to situations that you're supposed to be in. If you're following the plan and you believe and you have faith and you don't let the mirror tell you what your life is like, you actually just have faith in that God has this amazing plan for you. Anyway, that's what happened to me. And then I partnered with Vishen. I was like, hey, bro, let's do a deal. I'll build this VSL department out for you. I'll do all the work for you. I'll write it for you. I'll do all this stuff for you. I'll work for free. I'll do it all for free. You don't have to pay me any money. Just pay me a percentage of revenue that my VSLs generate.
Yeah.
Bam.
At this
And
point,
give me some equity too at the end of it. If we do
really
it.
nice. So at this point, you were having a personal brand. You were popular about like being the guy, like knows how to run VSLs.
Not
Like
really. No, I went kind of viral. Not when I did the skincare brand thing, and then I did. Oh yeah, you know what? I was supposed to speak at Affiliate World Dubai, and then I got banned. I couldn't make that speech, so I posted a video, and then so I wasn't like big, right? I was still like behind the scenes guy, you know. Never really did much talks, but and then I posted one article about like using celebrities, and that was really it, you know.
yes,
Yeah.
But the Mindvalley one really got me a lot more famous. And then what really I think actually got me famous was I made my VSL Masterclass, and then all these people were ripping and stealing my course. and sending it out to people in all different countries. Like so you could buy it for like $30 online through like some other guy who was scamming my course. But I just like let them do it anyway because they were just getting the word out about me. And I think that actually did really good because they were following everybody for me, making Peter Kell accounts for me and just DMing everybody. So I had heard that like I was huge in Brazil and I was like, there's no way I'm that big in Brazil. But I think it was because they were ripping all my shit. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. That's my theory, but I have no idea.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
This actually helps. Like I have heard it from other companies as well. Like it helped Windows spread a lot, like the piracy, and also like Adobe as well. Like it helps. Piracy many times helps.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
I used to be in my parents'
Counterintuitively.
basement, and I would download John Benson's 3x VSL course. Right, I stole his course on the internet, and I was like, you know what? Anyone who wants to do that to me can go for it. I'll take it. I'll take it. You guys free. And then I'm like, look at they're sharing all my stuff. I'm like, it's actually not that bad. Anyway.
so actually, like the partnership with Mindvalley, it was the turning point, right? In your career, where you were
well,
like,
that was the turning point of that moment of my career. Yeah, of that downswing for sure. That was the turning point, and then begun just a 6-month-long white knuckling mission to make this thing work really well, which was a challenge because they had so many offers. You just don't know what to do. You just got to do as many as you can. I would make 7 VSLs for 7 different products at a time and do 7 runs and then 7 cannons, and then hopefully one works and one of them will work. 6 of them would fail.
Yeah. You've said like selling great product is key. Like Mindvalley is a great product, so it definitely helps. Also, like the skincare products that you had, they are good products. That's why they sell. So as because you were an affiliate marketer, how do you decide which products or brands are worth promoting?
Well, I wouldn't say good products sell because no one knows how good the product is till they buy. The point of good products is karma is the first one. That's the biggest one, right? If you sell bullshit, bullshit will come back at you at the end of the day. If you put out bullshit, life's a game of boomerangs, right? But the real reason to sell good products is that's actually how you make the most money. You wanted to make the most money. That's why you were doing this. And if you sell something people like, they will come back and buy from you again on your own. I mean, one of the challenges about being affiliates is it programs you to get the first sale and never hear from your customer again. And it also programs you to only get sales through advertising. So I couldn't even fathom the idea of me emailing somebody for free and them buying on their own, right? But that's what happens when you have products that people like. And then also, if you're not doing something that's good or that's a high value or you're doing long shipping times, everything's going to die in zero. You're just going to zero is where you're going eventually. So if you don't want to go to zero anymore, you have to go do something really good.
Yeah.
You're sick of going to zero, which was with me. That was me. I was sick of going to zero. I was like, not anymore.
As an affiliate marketer, like, have you run, because we went to the affiliate world and we saw like a lot of booths there, there are many products that you can actually sell apart from e-com. There are like iGaming stuff. Like, have you ever messed with these products? Like, have you ever tried to sell this kind of products? Because like we have no idea. We are in the e-commerce space only.
Yeah. Now, I just started with like Nutra, and then I pivoted to e-com, and then did the skincare brand, and then now we're in subscription like Mindvalley, and then now we're in AI products. It's the evolution.
Yes, and now after like the Mindvalley success, when you started like doing the course for the VSL Masterclass and getting the word out and building a personal brand around like VSLs.
So that was the situation again. I mean, Mindvalley definitely kickstarted my life back up again, but I was still in the same situation I was in before I met Mindvalley, which was like, I meant for something so much bigger in this life than what I'm currently doing. And especially financially, like I'm a freaking king. I know my past life, I was like a fucking emperor of some Scottish land or some shit. I don't know what the fuck it is, bro. But I'm very attracted to just like wealth, serious wealth, the lifestyle of being super wealthy. I like going and buying dope clothes, and I like traveling around the world, and I like traveling on jets, and I like being a shining star. I love that kind of energy. So that's who I am in my soul. So obviously, I had to get back to work on that, right? That was essentially it. I couldn't like just take this and start chilling again because that doesn't fit with who I am. And but the key to this, if you ever get good at something, like world class at something, then you have to screenshot your knowledge. Is essentially what it is. You have to right click your brain and save folder, save files, which is essentially what that did with that course. I knew that I needed to download this information and pass it on to the next person because they just learned all this stuff about these. And I had so many stories to tell, and I was as sharp as a tack during that time. So I got into coaching because I did want to give back to people. And there was, what was that thing? I think I read this quote: "The master's not the one, who's the best in the world. The master's the one who creates the most masters." And that was kind of this cool thing, just like. But I'm not a coach either. I'm like a guy who creates super hard and then wants to teach people about how he created, and goes back to creating super hard. And so I'm like back and forth between the two different things. But that was it. So got into coaching, which just got this initial thing out of me, and then helped some people. And then eventually we moved into being a product creator and pivoting and kind of just not done with VSLs, but I'm coming at it a different way now. I'm still doing video stuff, but I'm definitely done with like long form VSLs right now for a while.
Yeah, and now you are working like full time on your on AI, right? You have like the SaaS like called Genius.ai, right?
Yeah, so back to the skill set idea, like which skill is going to create the life of your dreams? Again, I was like at the top of the VSL base, but I didn't have a jet.
You need
So
a
I'm like,
jet.
I didn't have a jet. Okay.
Your goal it was a jet, right?
I mean, that's like, yeah, that's my version of a master's degree. Like, if you can imagine a kid going to college and getting a stupid piece of paper, my version of a master's degree in business is a jet. That means you got so freaking good, you have a jet. That means you were a master, right? No beat around the bush. Because that's actually kind of challenging to do. And my goal is to be a master in the space. So I had to just decide to myself, okay, I definitely didn't milk everything I could from VSLs. I'm sure I could do some big brand again and go hardcore again and go build another department again. But this would have been my third VSL department that I have built, and I was kind of over it a little bit. And I didn't see the exponential gains that would come from what I was looking for in a short time. So I just realized that, what the VSL skill set, although it gave me Lambos and a cool life and a great lifestyle, and I love them with all my heart, I have to find a new skill set to be great at, because this didn't give me a jet. And I was like, what skill set could I be good at that would get me a jet? And that was product creation, AI product creation specifically, right? I mean, Elon Musk makes dope products, essentially. He starts a business, but he's on the product dev team, and he just builds dope cars, and dope this, and dope that. And it's like, could I eventually invent something? It's so funny because after being in product creation for over a year and a half now, full time, just building AI products, they're a lot like VSLs, for sure. Which is so funny because with a VSL, you have to create 40 versions until you get one that works. And then with AI products, you just have to create your best idea, and then your best idea, and then your best idea. You have to create 40 of your best inventions until you really get something that makes you a billionaire.
Yes, and
That's
it's
really
much more expensive from creating VSLs, right?
It's expensive. It's expensive. It's not cheap, right? It definitely is not cheap at all. Yeah, that's for sure. You have to have a
Yes.
cash machine, and you have to move fast as fuck.
Yeah, don't you think like I would assume like the play with the course and like the group is like the mentorship program is like a big move, isn't it? Like it has a cap, you cannot grow it even further. Like
Well, that's what I did with VSL.ai, right? So naturally, I wanted to make AI VSLs. But I just felt like, I mean, again, my goal is 250,000 people who are paying me $50 a month. You know, VSLs, there's not 250,000 people who need VSLs.
yeah, yeah,
They're
they're
really
not.
hardcore. There's not, right? So that's the paid traffic. VSLs are all paid traffic. But the opportunity that does have lots, millions of people, is organic traffic. That was kind of my pivot. So Genius, we pivoted to building tools that would help people grow their Instagram or TikTok using AI, which is organic traffic. So that's where we've been for the last year.
Yeah,
Okay,
nice.
that makes sense. And looking ahead, like what excites you most about the future of digital marketing? Like, do you see any trends could you place like
Oh,
VSLs,
bro,
maybe
I'm
like in
so
the AI
excited.
space?
I'm so excited about TikTok Shop right now. I think this whole TikTok space is amazing. I just finished writing a book that we are hiring 20 TikTokers to make 20 videos on it and launching a TikTok affiliate program right now. So we're super excited. I am seeing some really amazing things in the TikTok ecosystem that just anyone in the world can click a button to sell my book. It's like ClickBank on TikTok, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyone
yeah.
can be an affiliate. If you have a TikTok account, they can click a button, talk about my book for a second, and you'll get paid $6 if you
Yeah.
sell my book. Anyone can easily be an affiliate, make money selling my book, which is crazy. So I'm doing that just for
So
fun of it because I
your
wrote a book.
book is what is about your book?
Yeah, it's called Something Amazing is About to Happen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
It's like
this is
your
like just part of my
quote.
soul's journey, and this is a discovery that I made when I was before I cracked my skincare brand. This is what I was doing before I had my $0 to $40 million moment. Was I was trapped. I was like I was on a 7th month losing streak in Miami. Nothing was working, and I had turned into a lazy slob, and my business was sucking. And I was pissed off because I used to be super motivated and driven, but I couldn't find a way how to be back to being this person. So I was studying this graph that would track how much money I made every single day that I was doing for 4 years. And I noticed that I had been struggling before in the past like this. Like I had been on 3 other losing streaks, like the losing streak I was on for the last 7 months. So I was looking at this because it would suck and then it would explode and suck and explode. And I was like, man, I wonder what I was thinking about right before life would explode those previous times. And I would crack a campaign and life would just blow up and it would be amazing. I'd really love to know what I was thinking about because I'm not thinking like that anymore. And then it hits me my journals. I've been journaling this entire time. I do like 200 entries a year, so I can actually go back to 2 weeks before life exploded. And just to sum it up, every single time right before life took off, I discovered that there was this constant vibe in my journals, like something amazing was about to happen. That was it. There was just like this energy. Like I don't care how bad it's been. I was expecting to see myself complaining about it, blaming things, talking about bullshit, but it was not. I didn't give a fuck about all the problems I had. I didn't give a fuck about anything. All of a sudden, I didn't give a fuck about it. It was like I could feel like something amazing was about to happen, and I was in amazing energy, talking about myself highly, doing positive affirmation, being really excited, and that took off. So I put this into a practice, and I started doing this daily journal that I would do where I would ask myself questions about like what I'm happy about and what amazing things are about to happen to me and what amazing things has my future self accomplished. So I put myself in this vision of already being this person, and then how would I describe that person? So I'm getting clarity on my higher self. All really awesome. And then what 3 amazing things are about to happen? So it would like really a couple questions that would like prime my brain to put me in this positive, expectant energy. And then that's when I went on my huge run. That was the biggest run of my career, the skincare brand. Like all of a sudden, all this good shit happened to me. So I have been doing that for a while in its own form on my computer for years. And then I just got this call recently to start putting this into a journal in a process. Because most people have just been programmed, right? When you're a kid, what do? You wake up, you talk to your parents tell you how the world is, your parents tell you how things are, you go to school, they tell you what the history is, they tell you how things are going down. You're just getting downloads from other people the whole time you're growing up, and we're all stuck with these limiting beliefs now because of it, which are basically just it's just thoughts that somebody else kind of gave you. And we need to sit down and start going through our own thoughts and tapping into who we are, what we think is amazing, and where our life wants to be. So this is a daily journal that we created to have anyone be able to just start attracting amazing things to get their brain working really solid.
Oh,
Anyway,
nice. So it's
Okay.
like
And
it's the title. It's really, really, really good. I think that you have chosen. So this is like on your stories. Like you are saying, like you are gonna launch something soon. You are gonna announce something. It's about the book or it's something else.
yeah. No,
Ah,
it's about the book. Yeah.
okay,
Something
good.
amazing about to happen. It's the manifestation journal. It's cool.
When it's gonna be
okay,
live?
I think in 2 weeks we'll
In two
have our
weeks.
shipping fulfillment partner ready with books to be ordered. It could go live on Amazon this week, which I'm great, but we're still waiting to get approved on it. We're also editing
Okay.
some things last moment, I just realized.
Okay, great.
And about
So
the TikTok shop, like how is that connected with the book? Like I didn't understand that.
Yeah, it's so freaking cool, bro. It is the coolest thing ever. So you just upload your product. I uploaded my book to, I created a TikTok shop, uploaded my book, fill it out.
Okay.
We have this back end. So if anybody orders, it automatically gets to our fulfillment house and they ship the book. So that fulfillment's easy. And then we're just going to creators. And because we don't have any traction right now, like we have 0 sales on our book on the store, there's a lot of no proof. So affiliates won't want to sell our book because there's no proof that it works yet, because they're all looking for the top products and they sell those. So we're hiring affiliates. I'm working with a company called brandmeetscreators.com, and we hired them, and then they're putting us in front of all these creators, and we're going to pay them. We're going to pay like 20 people like $250 a month to make 20 videos on us each. So we're just going to create this ecosystem, because TikTok's super interesting. When you're scrolling, if you see a video and you like my Something Amazing's book and you like it, you'll get put in a retargeting ecosystem where all of a sudden now you see all these videos talking about the book from different people. So it's crazy social proof, crazy testimonials, and it's really interesting. And it's so easy for everyone to set up and be part of it. So I just want to get on that wave. There was a book called The Shadow Journal that sold 1 million copies, just exploded.
in TikTok shop?
And there's guys doing huge numbers right now on TikTok shop.
Oh, on TikTok shop. Yeah. I didn't
So
know.
anyway,
Like,
that's what I'm excited about now. On that side, out of the AI stuff.
good.
Yeah. Are you afraid of about TikTok and living in US? Like, is that something that worries you?
Well, what are they going to do to me?
It's something that you think that this will work, like the TikTok shop will work, but it's something that might happen. Like, do you have like any views around that?
I don't care a single thing about it, personally.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, if I can't do anything about it, I don't worry about it, right? Like, God only knows what's going on, but I'm just super obsessed with just my goals and my vision and just taking proper action and just being who God meant me to be.
Yeah, I completely get it. I completely get
It's
it.
kind of good. Yeah. You know, another thing I think is weird I've been thinking about lately is like when I said earlier that, you know, I think in a past life I was like a king of some Scottish army or something or whatever that would just live in a big ass castle with this hot fucking queen wife and just have tons of fucking money and a dragon or whatever the fuck I had, right? Super dope. Like, the only reason I say that is because that is like a natural desire that just comes from my soul, regardless of what anyone else says or thinks that I should live my life or whatever. It is a natural freaking desire that comes from my soul. And I think that, and this is out there, I think that there's a quote in the Bible that says, no one can enter into heaven except those who first came from heaven. Something like that. Like, which kind of implies that you've been here before. You've been a different life or whatever. You've had past lives doing different things. You just can't remember it or whatever. And the desire that you have for this vision of your life is only there because you have experienced it in some past life where that was you in that life. Like, if your desire is to be rich or whatever, it's only because there was a time in a past life where you were rich and the real version of you is that fucking rich gangster, and you're being called to get back to your promised land of being that person. And that is the true version of you, whoever that is in whatever situation. And in this life, you're being called to get back to there. Anyway,
Yes.
that's a random fucking one.
So
Yeah, that's something. That's
Yes.
that's something that I haven't thought about. Like it's a really motivating thing and actually puts you in the mood like for success. Like so, if we can number like down your goals right now is like jet, a castle, and a queen. Like what is the goals that you have for the future?
Yeah, so I am developing myself to be a world-class king, I would say, what that means, right? And if you think about a king, and it's really funny because, you know, there's like archetypes of people. Like there's like the magician, there's the warrior, there's the lover, there's the king, right? This is like actual archetypes. Like when I took ayahuasca, I literally turned into a wizard. So I went through 3 months dressing up like a wizard for a while. I just got done going, I was a pirate for a while, but I don't think that's in any archetypes that I had seen. I don't know where that came from. And then I had been doing warrior for a while. So I had been a warrior for God. I had been calling myself. And now the next natural evolution is this like king version, which a king is somebody who they are somebody who is just the dopest role model, right? They have acquired so much wisdom, they have acquired so much wealth, they have built a kingdom that tons of people habit and look up to you for. So you have a massive following of people who look up to you, trust you, and your responsibility is to help keep the peace with them and keep the abundance in the society and keep everything kind of run down. That's what it really means to be a king, is like you are the leader of this large tribe of people and you are help bringing the abundance to all this stuff and you're funding a lot of these situations. So that is probably that is the quick majority of it, right? In whatever today's standards of that idea is, whatever today's castle looks like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my version of a fucking dragon is a jet these days, right? So, whatever. And then, Lambos are the new horses anyway. So that's kind of, yeah. Lambos are the new chariots, I would say, right?
So, from the conversation that we had, you have a real clear path about yourself, what you really want out of your life. So, if you could go back and give like an advice to your younger self, when you were just starting out, what would you say? Like, what advice do you think your younger self would you give now?
So the biggest block that I had was I would never admit that I was rich. I was a guy who wanted to be rich because I'd never done it before. I'd never been anywhere close to that. I was something I wanted, that energy, right? So, and then I found out I was a rich guy trapped in a broke guy's body. And then I went through and I'm studying identity and like how whoever you believe you are at the root is what manifests in your life, and how you picture yourself and imagine yourself is the root. And then I get in these ideas of like, the reason I like this lifestyle or I'm into it is because maybe I've lived it before in a past life. That's why it's so interesting to me. And that I don't want to be a king. It's that this version of me in the past was a king. And that's who the real version of me is, not this person I see when I look in the mirror. So everyone's mistake is they have this vision of themselves in the future, but when they look in the mirror, they see who they are now. And the moment that you realize that who you are in the future, who the version of you that has all your goals, is someone that you've been in the past in a different life, and that is actually the true version of you. And you begin to identify and just be that person way ahead of your reality, way ahead of your 3D. You are fucking in your mind. People think you're crazy. They think you're delusional, but you know who you are in your mind. And that is when reality will bend to you and you will create this reality starting with that vision in your mind. So I think everyone needs to get tuned into what their deepest desires are for their life and not put any more judgment on it. Like, I shouldn't like that. What do you need more attention? You don't have attention. That's why you like jets. You don't like it, bro. You focus on what you're naturally called for, regardless of what anyone else thinks. And you need to identify if this was a version of you in a past life, what would it be? Like, what do you think like you probably maybe were in a past life that made you want to love this so more? And then whoever that person is who you are in today's world. So start identifying as that guy, as your true self, and then watch your life fucking flourish and watch you break past every barrier you've ever had.
Yes. So I want to make a question like, how do you convince yourself, like in your case, that, in the past I was a king? Like, how do you actually do this? Because I can create a version of myself on what I believe and I like and play it like you are doing it, but it seems difficult for me to convince myself.
Yeah, right. So what you're talking about here is a really smart thing to talk about because it is the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem is when people get the bullshit answers come up, right? That's what you're feeling like, that's a bunch of bullshit. That's not me. That's not it, right? That anti-thing going on here. This is the root because what you believe at the root is what actually becomes true. And what you're saying is what is true for me is something else, right? And that's your trap. You're trapped by this wall. This is the fucking final boss of manifestation, if you will, right? What you have to get through, the dragon to overcome. So here's how to do it, right? Give me an example. Give me an example of something.
Of what
Give
I
me an
would...
example of something. Yeah.
an example of what I would like to be
Yeah, what's like some
convinced.
big goal you would love to have in the future?
Like a big mansion,
Okay,
like
perfect.
300 square meter house, let's say.
Let's just call it big fucking beautiful mansion. Love this one, bro. You're my kind of people, right? So do you have a big beautiful mansion right now?
Yes.
No.
I mean, right now in this moment, you have a big beautiful mansion.
No, I don't
Okay,
have.
perfect, right? So if you said that I have a big beautiful mansion, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit, right?
Yes, like
Right, because
out of reality.
Where's it at? Right, out of reality. That's not where I am right now, essentially. So, but is there a future where you have a big beautiful mansion in this lifetime?
Yes, there is a future. I
Okay,
see
there's a
it.
future. So it exists, right? In that future, that's you, right?
Yes,
And that guy has a mansion.
yes.
So technically, you have a mansion.
You could say yes.
Oh
That's
fuck!
right.
What happened there, bro? I thought.
Because
Whoa. Like, what do you mean I could say yes? You just said no.
I mean, like, not right now. Yes, in the future. Like, I
Yeah,
stick
no, I
to
know
the
that.
timeline.
But is that you? Is that
Yes,
you?
yes.
With the
Yes,
mansion?
Yes, yes.
So you have a mansion?
Yes, I have a mansion.
Oh fuck! We did it again. We fucking made it true again. How did it become true? It's supposed to be bullshit. Right? Here's the truth, bro. Is both answers are true. There is a reality where you don't have it, and there is a reality who you have it. There's a version of you who doesn't have it. There's a version of you who has it. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the you who doesn't have it? Are you so locked in on the you who doesn't have it? Or are you focused on the you who does have it? They're both true. And they're totally different people. And this is what it means to kill thyself in order to evolve to the next version of you, is you learn to let go of this fucker that doesn't have it and stop identifying as this guy and being like, bro, I've had at least 100,000 past lives with dope mansions. I am a guy with a dope mansion. This is not me. This is not my life. I have a dope fucking mansion. I don't care what anybody says. I'm getting my dope mansion. It's my mansion. I love it. It's always been mine. But
Yeah,
now
this-
we're-
No, I get it. I get it. Just, I want to say, like, in the past, I was thinking, like, by thinking of the guy that doesn't have the mansion, it's like reminding myself and punishing myself to do the work so I can get to this point. So
Right.
I was actually focused on the wrong guy all the time. How you state it and how you, like, position it, it's much better, I think, and positive for yourself, for your inner soul, let's say.
Yeah. And it works better than anything, right? I know what you're saying. You don't want to ruin a lot of your motivation, but trust me, bro. When you are when you are a cowboy without a horse, your life is fucked up and you need to fix that. And when you're a mansion guy without a mansion, your life is fucked up and you need to fix that, right? It's this different
Yes.
energy. This is who I am. I'm not being someone that I am. I need to get out of here. That is more driven than you being pissed off. That is actually the most driven you there is that sort of energy of knowing who you are and fucking being pissed off that your reality isn't caught up to speed yet.
Yeah. This actually reminds me of the quantum jumping from Mindvalley. Have you seen that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
This.
the
That's a crazy idea. Like,
Yeah, it's
we
the
definitely
idea
like.
that there's infinite parallel realities, in that there's infinite realities and infinite timelines, and they all exist at the same time. And there's a version of you in each one of every dream that you've ever had, whether you want to be an astronaut or a teacher or a gymnast or an Olympian or whatever. Every one of those dreams came true, and there's a version of you in all of those situations. And you're able to quantum jump to these different timelines to create it. And depending on who you're focusing on is kind of depending where you go to. So that there's that question is, if you could quantum jump into any life, what life would you quantum jump into?
Yeah. That's really powerful. That's really powerful.
Okay, I think with this we can close. It was really good what we said in the at the end. So
Yeah, and really motivational for
Really
both of us
motivational.
and for the audience as well.
and inspirational, like
Yeah. You have your way with words, Peter.
What's up with it? Yeah.
so.
it
Thank
just,
you,
It works, right? Love it. Love this stuff.
thank you again for coming, Peter. Thank you so much for your time. I know your time is valuable, and you don't like do this many times. So thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was amazing. So thank you. And we see each other on the next pod. Okay?
Yes, this is
Bye.
the pod.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye.
That's the pod. Bye.